Chairman, first of all, it's great to see all four of these members here. I like it better when you all come and you've worked out something and we're on the same page, and you do that a lot. And I certainly want to join everybody here's commendations and congratulations to my good friend, Mr. Klein, the chairman, who'll be leaving. I actually will have a more pleasurable event for you later this evening, Mr. Chairman. We'll have a good time then. But on this, I want to commend you for bringing something that's really important in front of this committee and in front of the Congress. I have 5 colleges and universities or public institutions in my district. All 5 have contacted me concerned about this. I have a number of private institutions. All of them have contacted me to express concern about this. And I have any number of small businesses, and they look at a 100% increase in a short time frame is something they cannot accommodate. I think we're going to end up costing some people their jobs and, frankly, turning, in many cases, what are salaried employees into hourly employees with this measure. I don't think that's the intention, but I think that's going to be what the result is going to be. And I also just point out to the committee, this one-size-fits-all rule is something that, frankly, does not make a great deal of sense when spread across a great continental country. The cost of living and the rates of compensation are one thing in large metropolitan areas. They're quite another in areas that are replete with small businesses and maybe where the cost of living is lower or the means are not there to meet this onerous burden. And some tough decisions will be made. I do believe people will end up losing their job through no fault of their own. People that right now don't even know this discussion is going on. This is arbitrary. It's far too quickly imposed, and it is time to take back and take a hard look at this. NFIB, National Federation of Independent Businesses, estimates this will impact 44% of small businesses in the country. That is a lot. Frankly, with all due respect to the Department of Labor, I find that their estimates of costs sometimes aren't really related to reality. I'd rather talk to the owners of small businesses in many cases, or the folks charged with leading institutions of higher education, and see what they have to say. They don't have the flexibility to respond this quickly in this way, and they will make decisions, and individuals will end up being hurt. So I think this is an emergency act. In full disclosure, in the appropriations for the Department of Labor and the bill that's passed so far, just the Appropriations Committee, certainly hasn't passed the full floor, we do have a prohibition on funding for this particular rule. That's a response to all the concerns and complaints we got. So I don't think this issue goes away. It'll be an item of contention, I think, during the appropriations process once we get back. Because I can assure you that will certainly be in the bill as we try to negotiate it through. So this is a very timely, very important piece of legislation. It will save jobs. It will protect institutions. And you guys are to be commended for moving quickly. I do think, it strikes me that 100% increase on this when you're in the last few months of your tenure as an administration is overly ambitious. If this problem is as big as the proponents suggest that it is, then it seems to me the next administration will have a long timeline to sit down and deal with it and work toward a solution. This looks to me much more like an almost knee-jerk reaction and desire to get something done right at the last minute, but it is something that's going to cost jobs and that it is going to make businesses that have a very narrow profit margins or nonprofits that always operate on a tight budget very susceptible to being forced to lay people off. That's not something we ought to be doing up here, in my opinion. So, again, I just want to voice my support for the legislation. I commend the gentleman for moving it so expeditiously. I'm proud of my committee and the Congress for trying to react quickly. I will just end with one note. My friend Mr. Wahlberg was right. Mr. Klein is abandoning us, but at least on the way out the door, he's trying to do something good for those of us that he's leaving behind, but more importantly for the people he represents. So with that, I look forward to this measure reaching the floor. I look forward to a vigorous debate. And again, I know my friends that have a different point of view are trying to do the right thing. I don't have any doubt about that whatsoever. but I would ask you to listen to those small businesses that are coming and talking to you. They're telling you that this is too much, too fast, without sufficient notification. And we're creating a huge mess for the next administration, Republican or Democrat. There will be protests, there will be lawsuits, there'll be unintended economic consequences of this because we are moving, in my view, too rapidly and in too reckless a fashion. So look forward again to the bill reaching the floor, look forward to voting for it. Don't have any questions of the gentleman, but again, I always appreciate the debate, and I hope in my friend's remaining time here in the last few months, you and Mr. Scott will be back here because I know you have some other pending legislation that I think you're cooperating on, and higher ed reauthorization and some things of that nature, and that we can replicate the bipartisan success of last year's Christmas miracle with another Christmas miracle. But hey, this would be a Christmas miracle too. I don't object to having more than one package under the tree. So thanks for putting this in there, Mr. Klein, Chairman Klein. And again, look forward to working with you as we go forward. Yield back, Mr. Chairman.
I thank the gentleman. By the way, the gentleman attended a meeting this morning with the NIH. Both Mr. McGovern did and the gentleman, Mr. Cole, and they did an outstanding job trying to talk through other important issues that this committee and this Congress are handling, and I thank the gentleman very much. The gentleman from Massachusetts.
Oh, okay.